This is Doris's Golf Club, where I explore the stories of women's golf, my path as a beginner, and the lessons the game offers beyond the fairway. Welcome to the club. Annyeonghaseyo and hello from Korea. Just finished day 3 of the International Crown. It is Saturday after the tournament has ended today, and we know, you guys, who is going to the semifinals. I won't delay anymore. Let me tell you, Pool A, the USA, and Team Australia made it out, and they are going to the semifinals tomorrow. And oh my goodness, you guys, it was so close. I'll tell you about that more in just a minute. And then Pool B, we have the world team and Team Japan. Team Japan made it out. And so the world team and Team Japan are in the semifinals tomorrow. So my prediction of Team Korea winning the entire thing, gone. Team Korea is out. I cannot believe it, you guys. And it really did come to the end with them as well. Korea was playing Japan today. It was very, very close. I'll tell you about that as well in just a second. Oh, but you guys, what a day. It was, again, such a beautiful day. The day started very cloudy and overcast, which would be fine. A little bit cooler. It's gotten pretty warm each day, so I was looking forward to some shade. But once we got there, the sun came out fairly quickly. It still was really nice and kind of cool in the shade. But wow, what a turnout. The crowd was great. And so I took some videos and some pictures. There was even more swag handed out. It was incredible. Let me show you. The minute that I walked in, again, kind of that very first welcome area where you first walk in, they tried to give me another sunbrella. I let them know I already had one, but thank you. I probably should have gotten another because I didn't bring mine back today, but it was fine. But I got some fantastic skincare samples from this wonderful cosmetics company. I think it's Rejuron? I've been seeing ads here on TV and trying to figure out exactly how to pronounce it, but Jin Young Ko, I believe, is a model for them, a spokesperson for their skincare line. And of course, she's gorgeous. So if she uses it, I should be using it too. Anyway, they just handed me this and then they directed me right over to their little area and let me play this little, almost like the little Plinko game, you know, where you put something in and it goes down. So I put this little ball in and it went down and I won a free little, what is this? A hydrating cream. Let's see. I think it's advanced hydrating cream, which I certainly can use. My skin has been very dry. It can use some nice hydration. So there you go. So extra swag when I walked in. Then, you guys, Camp Hanwha was packed. So that very first day when we had walked in and we had gotten our nice little bag and the little card that we could go around and get all the different countries' pins and then come back, I was hoping to be able to, you know, stop by there again. There was this very cute bear there. He's kind of blue. I don't know what his deal is, but he's adorable. And I saw them handing them out. I wanted to know more. Anyway, the line was circled around kind of the building of Camp Hanwha. So I didn't stop in initially, but I figured it would calm down a little bit throughout the day. I did go back and I was able to get my wonderful free, well, let me find it here, my ball marker. So I was able to collect all 8 pins, and I'm showing here if you're watching on YouTube. I got all 8 of the pins from each team, each country, and then we have the world here. And so it's so much fun. They are just these little pins that, you know, you can then wear or put on anything. And then once I brought this up there to Camp Hanwha, they then gave me here, it's the wonderful ball marker. And the women I've seen, you'll probably see if you watch any of the tournaments, they keep them generally on their hat. So it's this nice kind of clip. It just clips onto your hat or your visor, and then it's magnetic. So it just slides right off, and you can put it down and mark your ball on the green and then pick it back up when you're done. It's just right back. Ta-da! So it's wonderful. I have this one now from the Hanwha Life Plus International Crown 2025. It has a beautiful crown in the center. And I got a ball marker from Keweenaw, from Keweenaw Mountain Lodge. That's the only other place that I have gotten a ball marker. And I feel like those are very appropriate places for me to have had a ball marker from. So I love this one. I can't wait to use it. I've got to get back and actually become a good golfer. I've got to get back into my lessons. I'm really inspired being here again, being outside in this gorgeous golf course, walking around, seeing these women play so well. I mean, every single time they tee off and it's that fantastic sound. There's just nothing like it. Oh, it really is inspiring me to get back, take my lessons. I know it's about to be winter, but that's a perfect time. I can take my lessons inside. I can be practicing inside with some good screen golf. More on that later. Anyway, so I got my wonderful ball marker. Then, when I was getting this, the woman there asked, she said, "Did you get a little bear?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, if you take a picture with the big kind of Hanwha world kind of spinning statue thing and post it on social media, you can come back and get the bear." And I said, "Oh, I've already done that." Because of course, I've already done that. I had a whole video showing myself with this wonderful spinning Hanwha Life Plus International Crown, beautiful spinning world statue thing. I don't know what it is, but it's really cool. And so I was so excited that I had already done that, because who knew that Doris could be so social media savvy? Never mind the fact that I've been getting a lot of help. Also, more on that later. Okay, so I started pulling out my phone to show her, to prove to her that I had already done that, and was very excited, by the way, that I had already done that. And she said, "Oh, no, here's a bear. Here's the bear." She said, "I believe you. You have a very honest face." Oh my goodness, it cracked me up. It was so funny and so cute. But I really appreciated, ta-da! I got this precious little bear. He's on a keychain, except he fell off. A very nice person there found him and handed him back to me when he fell off. But he's adorable. Maybe she? I don't know. Wearing a crown, and this outfit that this bear is wearing is actually the outfit that the officials wear. And so it is so adorable that this bear here is also wearing the official outfit. And it says on the back, "Official." And it has a very nice golf tee stuck in here as well. This is where I learned that the bear is named Wasabi Bear. Again, I need to learn more about Wasabi Bear, but there was a giant Wasabi Bear out front of Camp Hanwha, and I, of course, got a picture with the giant bear as well. But I really love this little bear. And then even later, people were asking me where I had gotten this little bear. So I was very proud to be able to tell them exactly where they could get this precious little Wasabi Bear. Okay, so, I mean, that was just all on the walk-in today on day 3. Oh, you guys. So the crowds were bigger. Again, at the first tee, it was really lively. The DJ was there again playing music. Um, it was very funny. I had stayed at the first tee. Um, I guess I got there maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 um, matches had gone through, but then I was able to stay for all of the others. And so during the increments when, you're waiting for the next games to start, that kind of 15-minute increment where the DJ is playing music and doing different things. Also, what was happening today, the DJ was going around and doing a lot of kiss cam and dance cam, and it was very funny. Yesterday when my husband was there, he said the kiss cam, they were having difficulty getting people to, kiss. Today, they were not having difficulty. There were couples kissing left and right. It was really funny. You know, some of the kisses were prolonged kisses, which was very funny also to see here in Korea because there were lots of hoots and hollers. Usually things are, you know, a little bit more conservative as far as public displays of affection. And so it was a really, really fun environment. Then the dance cam also was so funny. There were these women, these older women who were really getting into it and who were dancing. And then there was even kind of a dance off between these two women who weren't in the same party. They were just sitting close to one another. And then, in order to settle it, because they were handing out like free ice cream coupons and things like that, to settle it, they ended up doing, of course, rock, paper, scissors. It was very funny. So that was going on in between while we were waiting, and just these fun kind of things. And I was thinking, like, this is not difficult stuff. You know, you see it at baseball games, stuff like that. Why can't we introduce this at our golf tournaments? I know that live golf, its kind of whole point has been with like loud music, much more of that kind of entertainment value at the golf tournament. This to me seems like a really nice mix because you're still, as you're going around and actually watching the women play golf, very, very respectful. Everyone is quiet as can be when any of the women are about to hit any ball. I mean, the marshals there are very strict in making sure that people actually stop walking, no carts are driving, that it is quiet and respectful for the women to be playing golf. But then you also have very good loud cheers when the women are doing well and, you know, groans when something misses and comes so close. There's just more of participation from the spectators that is a lot of fun. And I think that there can be this really good mix of participation and excitement and being more interactive without going all the way to where, like, I don't know, whatever Liv is doing. I don't think you have to go that far, but you can still have something that is a little bit less conservative than like you being afraid to do anything or make any noise at any time, because that's also not what should be happening. We should be able to cheer really great shots and groan when there are things that miss and have come very close. Anyway, I've really, really enjoyed the environment. And you guys, this entrance music, I love it. I was telling you about how the DJ had been chosen to specifically put together entrance music for each country. My favorite is Team China. Team China's entrance music is great. I mean, it kind of starts, you know, more with kind of the typical, almost stereotypical Chinese music that you would think of. But man, then this beat hits and it kind of kicks it up, and it is really cool music. It's just really awesome. But each country just has its own flair, and it's so much fun to be listening to this hype intro music as each team is announced. It's been so much fun to be able to hear it multiple days now. And multiple people were talking about how China was their favorite music. I was talking with a woman this morning about how great it was and how we really did want the playlist of all the entrance music because it's really fantastic. So, you guys, let me tell you this. While I was standing there, when I had first come in to the first hole and was going to watch the teams tee off, initially, Team Korea was being announced. And so there were large amounts of spectators there, and it was hard for me to see. And so I was walking down farther along the line to try to get a spot where I could see. And as I was walking down, there is a certain spot where the photographers kind of have this little kind of triangle area marked off for them and for the official photographers to be standing. And then spectators can kind of be around them. But I was going a little bit beyond that. And as I was walking by, I looked over and I'm like, that's Craig Kessler, the LPGA commissioner, the new commissioner. I'm like, that's him right there. He was standing in the spot with the photographers, where the photographers were kind of that area blocked off for the photographers. I was like, that is so cool. Because I had seen on Instagram that he had been there when I think maybe for the opening, and someone had painted this beautiful kind of mural for the tournament. And then he and Sari Pak had each had this stamp that's very large, beautiful stamp to put in this huge mural. I got a picture of the mural this morning. It was just really beautiful, and I had seen this on social media, so I knew that he had been here at least. But then, yeah, I saw him there, and I was like, well, this is so awesome. So I was a little bit farther down and watching Team Korea come in, and they were playing Japan today. And I saw some people chatting with him. I was like, it's one of these things. I've been in this situation before with different players, and I'm like, should I approach them? Should I not? What should I do? Will I regret it? And so he had been chatting with some people, and then they left. And then when the crowds kind of left, because Team Korea and Japan had gone through, and so most of the crowds had left, kind of the spot opened up and he stayed. And so I just went up and I think I said, Mr. Kessler. I think that's what I did. I can't even quite remember. And so he said, yeah. And so he came over. And so I just started chatting. And you guys, in my kind of classic Doris way, I mean, I just babbled on and on and on. But I met him and his lovely wife, Nicole, and they were so gracious and so kind. And we were talking about this tournament. Basically, I did most of the talking. They did very little. And like I said, they were very gracious to be able to just listen to me and smile and nod. They were very kind. And I was just going on and on about how fantastic the tournament was. We did talk about how beautiful the course was and the setting. I did tell Nicole where the sunbrellas and like all the swag was, because she was also wanting some of the under eye patches. And I said, oh, yes, it's right around as soon as you come in. And there's the merch is on the second floor, because I had my, USA International Crown hat on and telling them all this stuff. I also was going on and on about how much I loved it, with the 2 channels here, the 2 golf channels that are playing basically exclusively women's golf. And Craig Kessler was saying, yeah, like they are superstars here. Like, yes, they are. And I don't know. I was just babbling on and on. But basically, I hope that I got my point across, how wonderful I think that these professional women are, how they should be treated like superstars. I certainly know that I said that I loved that he was here at this international event and really embracing the international aspect of the LPGA. And I did make some comment about how much I hate it when I hear these ridiculous remarks or comments about, some of the quote unquote international aspect of the LPGA, which really, when I hear the critiques, it's about how many Asians are playing on the tour, which is absurd, you guys. Come on. Our LPGA is incredible. We are lucky to have them. And we are lucky that they want to be part of the LPGA, because seriously, here they are superstars. They are very well known. And you know what? In the US, even our US women are not well known. They go to tournaments and no one's there. I don't know why. Of course, I do know why people want to play on the LPGA. But man, thinking about, I've talked about how in Japan in the JLPGA, you just get on a bullet train and you're going around, a small country. You're not flying all over. Even East Coast to West Coast is very long, and it's a hard travel day, and it's hard to go through that. And let alone being on the LPGA and traveling the world for these tournaments. It's a big deal. And these people have left their homes and want to be part of the LPGA because it is the premier women's tour. We should be treating them like superstars. We should be treating them like they are treated here in Korea. And I suspect like they are treated in Japan. I just really, really love it here. And I was just babbling on and basically saying that to Craig and Nicole. I hope that they got my point about how much I have been enjoying watching the LPGA and getting to know these women and really respect what they do and how they should be treated like superstars because they really are. Anyway, it was just so wonderful, to just see him there. He wasn't tucked away in some, I don't know, some reserved spot. He was down on the ground watching the women teeing off. Really lovely. His wife was really lovely. It was so nice to have them here. And again, I am just so pleased that he was here and really representing and respecting the international nature of the LPGA. So kudos to them for that. Oh, and I don't know if they're ever going to hear this, but if so, I appreciate you being so kind while I was just rambling, babbling. I'm not even sure what all I said. But anyway, it was lovely to meet you if you do listen to this. Then, you guys, I met someone else so wonderful today from the LPGA. I was back around toward Camp Hanwha, and I have some pretty good luck seeing these fantastic trophies, I must say. At the Chevron tournament, I got to meet Dinah as she was just coming out, being walked down. Dinah is the trophy, the beautiful Tiffany silver trophy is given out at the Chevron Championship. So I was walking by, and I believe the case is to me, the official luggage of the LPGA, and they were setting up this case, and it was so beautiful. They were opening it up, and it was kind of all mirrored inside, and they were setting up this little stand, and someone was holding the trophy for the International Crown, and then they placed the trophy in there, and it was so shiny and beautiful, so I got some pictures and video of that. So I was standing there looking and talking about how beautiful it was and just getting the little video. It was just so shiny and nice to see the trophy there. Anyway, I was standing there, and then this lovely woman, I don't know that she remembers seeing me at Chevron, but she was the one who was carrying the trophy in the early morning when I got to see the trophy and stand there and get a picture with the trophy, not touching it, but very close. Anyway, she came up and she was so sweet. She told me that she liked my stuff on social media. She recognized me and she said that she liked watching my stuff. I mean, I was so impressed. Like, who's seeing my stuff? Here she was with the LPGA, and I was telling her, she said that she works with social media with LPGA. And by the way, shout out to the LPGA's social media, their media, everything. I've told you how much I love the social media and the various things that they do. I always love seeing the cute little videos that they have. I love their media page. I've talked about the all kinds of information on the media page, all of this stuff that they do to get the word out about these women. I really, really appreciate. So I got to meet her. Her name is Eleanor. She's fantastic. Anyway, she was also so kind. She was so sweet. And I don't know, it was just these wonderful connections, these wonderful people that I've been able to meet while doing this podcast and going around to these tournaments and learning about this new thing. You all know that this is kind of the whole point of me doing this. I wanted to change. I wanted to do something new and different. I need to live life. You all know, with my mom passing last year, I was like, life is too short. I've got to do some fun, exciting things. And my goodness, in the last year, not even a full year, I have been all over the world. I've been to 2 new countries that I've never been to before. I've had all of these wonderful new experiences and met so many fantastic new people. I just have had such a wonderful, exciting time doing this, and I've just really, really loved it. And it's just been such a joy and such a gift to be able to do this, and hopefully to bring some of it to you all, whoever is out there listening and watching. Anyway, it's been such a good time. So, after meeting Eleanor, who was so nice and so fantastic, then I was going around, I was watching, I guess I set up around the 8th green. I know that I said that with match play golf, you can't really set up somewhere, and typically I wouldn't, but guys, I'm exhausted. I am so exhausted. So I really needed to just set up somewhere and watch people come through, look at the crowds, just enjoy myself. So that's what I did. And so set up there and got to see all the various teams come through. It was really fantastic. Now, let me tell you about some of the games. The big change today, the only change today in the teams, Team Japan did end up changing their team setup today. The only team, the only country to have done that. So today, playing together was Ryo Takeda and Ayaka Furue on one team. And then playing together was Mao Saigo and Miyu Yamashita. They were playing together. So that was a switch up from the first 2 days. The first 2 days, Mao and Ayaka were playing together, and they did not win one game. So today was a switch up. And through, I don't know, it was through like the 8th hole, I think, because I was set up there at the 8th green and seeing Japan and Korea come through there at the 8th green. I think, if I remember correctly, Mao and Miyu were not winning. I believe Korea was up through the 8th hole. And so I was like, what is the deal? I don't know what is going on. So that's kind of how things had been left as far as I knew with Team Japan. Then, you guys, Mao and Miu came back and they were playing Hyoju Kim and Hejin Choi. They came back and beat them. They actually won. They didn't tie, they won their game. And that is what ended up sending them to the semifinals because Rio and Ayaka ended up tying with the other Korean team who was Haeranyu and Jin Young Ko. So if Mao and Miyu had not won, then they would not have been moving on. So it was incredible. I don't know what happened initially. I don't know why they were down. And I don't know what kicked in, but something kicked in with Mao and Miyu, and they were able to pull it out and actually win to get that full point. And it actually happened at the 18th. It came down to the wire at the 18th hole. And oh, you guys, Hyoju Kim and Hejin Choi, they have been so cute and so fun to watch. And being Team Korea, the fans have been loving them. They have been coming out. They have been so happy and smiling and having such a great time playing everywhere when they are announced and the music is going. Like this morning, Yeoju Kim, with the DJ up there, she was acting like she was the DJ. She was doing all these things. I mean, she's so cute and the crowd loved it. It was so sad for them to actually lose. They were just so devastated. Oh, I really felt for them. But man, I mean, Team Japan, it came down to the wire and they really had to do something and they did. So good for Mao and Miyu for pulling it out and getting that win. And so they earned a point and a half today. And so they made it out of this first round and they made it to the semifinals. Then the world team, I mean, this world team is just doing so incredibly well. I met a woman in line today for the shuttle bus and we were chatting about the various teams, of course, and I thought she might be rooting for Charlie, but she said Lydia Ko, so I didn't quite hear, I guess she had a New Zealand accent. But anyway, we were talking about how fantastic the world team was doing and how fantastic Charlie and Lydia had been doing. I mean, who knew? Again, these are women like Brooke Henderson and Wei Ling Shi. These are women who are not normally put together to be playing in teams, and they have been playing so, so well. Anyway, it was really fun to be talking with another fan in line today for the shuttle bus. Okay, so That's how Team Japan made it through. Then, Team Australia. So, basically today in Pool A, the US played Team Australia, and then it was Thailand versus China. And yesterday we had left things, let's see, the US had 4 points, and then Australia had 2 points, and Thailand and China each had 1 point. So it really was up in the air who would be able to make it out to the semifinals other than the US in Pool A. So with Thailand playing China today, what they ended up doing is they each won one of their games. So they had gone up to 2 points apiece. So basically, then at a pretty long point in the day today, it was Australia had 2 points still from yesterday. Thailand had 2 points, and China had 2 points. Then Lauren Coughlin and Lilia Vu played so well today against their Australian team, and they ended up winning with that 5-4 score. So you know that means they were up 5, and so ended with 4 remaining holes. And so they won, and so stopped playing. And so the US then had 5 points. Australia still had 2 because they had lost that game. And so we were sitting there with 5 with the US, 2 with Thailand, 2 with China, and still 2 with Australia. So it came down to that final match with the US and Team Australia, really to determine, was it going to be a 3-way tie? And then there's a whole bunch of tiebreak rules and, figuring out who then would actually go. And I can't even remember. I mean, they're all written down. But it was either going to be that or Australia was going to be able to either tie or win the match with Yalimi and Angel. So that game came down to the very last hole, to the 18th hole. So the US and Australia were tied all the way through to 18, and they ended tied. So Australia ended up with 2.5 points, and the US ended up with 5, and then Thailand and China each had 2. So Australia and the US made it out of uh, this round and are in the semifinals. All right, so tomorrow, you guys, the first place out of Pool A plays second place out of Pool B, and the first place out of Pool B plays the second place out of Pool A. So, you know what that means. In the morning, the USA is playing Japan, and the world team will play Australia. Then the winners from that will go to the finals to determine who wins the entire thing and who comes in second. And then the losers from those first morning games will go to play in the afternoon to see who comes in third. So, you guys, it is US versus Japan and the world versus Australia tomorrow morning. I will keep you posted. Oh, it's going to be so exciting. And so it's going to be a longer day tomorrow. It starts earlier in the morning and then it goes longer. So because we are playing the semifinals in the morning and then the finals in the afternoon, and the format is a little bit different. Remember, it is going to be each matchup is going to consist of 2 singles matches and 1 foursome match. And so it's the first country to reach 2 points will win their match. That's how it's going to go. So I'm very curious to see. I don't know who the US is going to put in their singles matches. I mean, both teams have been working really well together. And, as far as who can go play singles, any of them can. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. I kind of suspect they'll have Angel because she is the highest ranked in Team US. So I suspect that they'll have her play singles. Maybe Yalimi. She's been doing really well. And then Lauren Coughlin and Lilia Vu have been playing really, really well as a team. So maybe they'll stick with that. I don't know. I will let you know tomorrow how things are going. And then, of course, I will do a quick recap tomorrow after everything is done, probably super quick, because then Monday we are flying back to the US. Once we're back, I will do a full recap about everything. At some point, I'll tell you all about my whole travel all around here because we did a ton of great things here in Korea. Anyway, until next time, bye.